amount of time I was getting out of my car at Aldi when suddenly a shopping cart slammed into the side of my car, and I look over and attached to the shopping cart that just slammed into the side of my car is an old woman, and she looks really confused, and then she just passes out. She crashes to the ground. So I rush over to her and I call 911 immediately, and I do everything that the 911 operator tells me to do. Like I check her pulse and stuff, but mostly I'm just sitting with her because, you know, she's super unconscious, and I can already hear sirens approaching, which is wonderful. But then the old woman regains consciousness and she starts screaming, "Leave me the hell alone," and she starts flailing around, smacking me. And the 911 operator is like, "You have to keep her calm. She might have hit her head. Keep her calm." And I'm like, "Do you have any tits? Because I've never fought an old woman before." And then suddenly the old woman hops up, and she's super spry for a woman that I didn't even think was alive 3 seconds ago. And she grabs the frozen pizzas out of her shopping cart, and she tries to get into the car next to mine, which was presumably hers, but who knows with this lady. And then she sees a police car pull into the parking lot, and then she just throws the pizzas on the ground, and she tries to drive away, but luckily the police car and an ambulance like pull up and block her in, so she can't get away. And the EMTs rush over to her, and the police officer comes over to me, and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then the old woman's refusing to go to the hospital. She refuses all medical treatment. So the police officer is like, "Okay, well, you hit this woman's car with your cart. So like, if you're not going to the hospital, like, let's start talking insurance." So suddenly she goes to the hospital, and I'm like, you know, my car's 6 years old. Like it's just a little scratch. Like I'm just going to go. So I take her cart and I keep her quarter for my troubles, and I forget all about it. But fast forward like 5 years later, I'm at work and I go to greet a new table in my section. I'm a waitress, and it's a party of like 6 old people. And who was at that party? My old friend, my buddy from the Aldi parking lot days. So she doesn't remember me, which is like no big deal. Like she was kind of having a rough day that day, but like I never forget a face when I've seen it, you know, unconscious against a blacktop parking lot. So, you know, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just being a waitress, you know, when suddenly the very same old woman nudges the man next to her husband, I guess. And she's like, "Hey, like show the waitress a picture of our new grandbaby. They have a new great grandchild." So he's like, yeah, telling me all about this baby, and he pulls up his phone. He's kind of struggling with it, you know, like old people do, but I'm patient because like I'm always down to see pictures of babies or dogs or flower gardens or, you know, whatever you got. So he's like, "Oh, here it is." And then he holds up a picture of a naked woman. That's the story. That's the end.